What's going on, y'all? It's your boy J.H. Gibbons here,
And we'll see. Over.
and this is once again the Achromas Podcast. Do not change your setup. You are in the right place, and we are thankful for you once again this Sunday that you've decided to take your day out and spend it with us, man. This is awesome. It's yet another week down the drain, yet another set of days gone. And I got to start off with this. I know this last week that we've been part of, if you are into stocks or if you are into trading or if you're watching the news itself, if you're a gamer, I'm sure all of this has to do part of you, right? So the GME stock or the GameStop stock went up. It went through the roof. And people were clamoring to go buy more stock and buy more stock and buy more stock. And um, I was just sitting back looking at it because it seemed that people didn't fully understand what to do with the money that they saw coming in. So if you bought GameStop back in like April, it was probably selling at like $7 or $8. It wasn't a lot. Don't quote me on those numbers, but it wasn't a lot of money. And what ended up happening over the past couple days, if you guys aren't aware, is that there was a company that sold that stock short, meaning that they didn't believe that their future was bright. GameStop's future they didn't see as being bright, so they're like, the stock's a little inflated. We want you to come down a bit with that value because they don't the stock market doesn't necessarily care about how you may feel about a company or a business or whatever. They are looking for the long term. They are looking for what will come in the future. So there were some people on Reddit who decided that, man, we got a lot of money. We're going to throw all this money at GameStop. And we're going to send the stock racing up high. So now, the last time I checked, I think during the week, it was trading at like $362 per share. That is up from like $4 or $5. What I'm saying is, do not do not get into this trap of buying high, especially when a stock is 100% overvalued. I know this is not about stock, but I this is something that personally I saw, and I just wanted to make sure that when you see that money coming in, that you have to understand what is going on with that money, or else you'll be faced with a very rude awakening of seeing your entire fortune that you may have put into the stock because you thought it was going up, 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 and maybe you had what you believed to be a success story on your hands. But I have to tell you what, man, you are looking at fool's gold. Again, I am not an advisor. That is not my job, but I want to make sure that you people, anyone who put money into that, I'm sure it's going to start going down more at some point, but you have to understand that the way you define your success is not based on how other people's do it, right? It's not based on how your neighbor might do it. It's not based on how your friends might do it. It's not even based on some of what you're seeing in social media, which has to do with this frenzy to buy stock. You saw your friends saying, "Oh my God, I just turned $3 into 3,000. You need to hop on this and be successful with me." No, do not do it. That's all I gotta say. Sorry, I had to take that good 5 minutes and let that out because it's ruining my stocks. All right. My stocks are plummeting. So I am also a little upset about that because I have been I'm a holding guy. I buy and hold companies, right, for stock. It has not been well for me today because of what's been going on with GameStop. And it's not, it's just, it looks like it's going to get better. Of course, there's going to be a bounce back, but please, please, cautionary tale. Just know what you're doing. That's all. That's all I got to say there.
Okay.
Woosah.
What's up? Obviously, as you can see, Jay needed to get that off his chest and
Yeah, it's just,
share that wealth of knowledge out there.
trying, man.
So I'd say, I guess it's some S's. That kind of brings us into the topic of what we want to discuss today: success, right? Because in that perspective, some people would view that as a success.
Oh,
For a short turnover margin, uh, like that. So unfortunately, you aren't one of those people, Jay, from
I
the
was
South.
not. I
But
was unfortunately I did not jump on that wagon because I just, I'm a by the book guy. I'm a graph guy. I love to study my charts before I make any decision. And I knew if I went that route this time, it would not end well. And it's not ending well for a lot of people right now. But I digress.
okay. Well, let's see how we can how can we like correlate this into just what today's society um views as a measurement of success. Like, how would you say it's portrayed? Like, in your opinion, like,
Ooh, I mean, you know, and I know we touched on some of it last week where we talked about what we're seeing on Instagram. And I mean, I guess now would be a good time to plug our Instagram. It is Acromis the Movement. So go follow us at Acromis the Movement. And what I did see was that a lot of people are plugging cars, they're plugging houses, they're plugging anything that is materialistic, they're putting out there as a way to express how wealthy they may be or how rich they may be and how successful they may be or seem, when in actuality it might turn out that those cars are leased, the houses are leased, none of those things, are even remotely close to what you may see. It's Instagram, it's Facebook, all of it is it's in a way it's fake. In a way, you're only seeing a certain portion of a story. You're not seeing the entire thing. So when you decide to log on and click and double tap these things, like what's happening in your brain is as you're scanning, you're starting to believe like, why am I not getting this? Why am I not wealthy? Why do I not have a yacht? Why do I not have a house in the Hollywood Hills? Why am I not a hot model? Why am I not getting likes? Why all of these things you start thinking about, and you start leaving what where you stand with gratitude, right? You start being a lot less gracious for the things that you do have. But I think the way that is that it's put out there now in society, the way that it's promoted, the way that people look at success as a whole, um, it could be damaging to the mental health of many people in our society because we're trying to hold ourselves up to a standard that in some cases doesn't even exist. Um, and and without going into some of the personal lives of these people who may have what deem to be success or what society deems to be a success, you don't know what's happening in their lives. It could be a broken home, it could be broken marriages, they could be close to filing for bankruptcy. A lot of these things we don't necessarily understand, so I want to let you guys know that it's important that when you're looking at success, it's a very it's very multifaceted and it's dependent on the individual.
I agree. Um, I agree with that. I think too often subconsciously, um, you know, we as a whole find ourselves determining our level of success based on the margin of what we see projected outward through others,
Mm.
right? And this is something that started, I think, as a child, where from the early ages of like 4, right? As you remember, where let's say in school, like something that may be viewed from a competitive perspective, where you're either deemed a winner or a loser. Um, but in retrospect, um, when I see it, and what that success looks like to me is based on effort, what you're putting in to
Mm.
something that's meaningful to you, and that can be anything. As what I think about is not necessarily just from what we see in social media, or in businesses.
Right.
The measure of a success could depend on whatever you believe it to be. So for me, if
Mm.
I decide to say, um, success could be for me, I just purchased a new vehicle, my first vehicle that I worked and I saved money for to be able to afford, to be able to take care of what I need to take care of, as opposed to someone who just started a new job. that's a success for them. Maybe they were going through some hardships, as we know, especially for example with what's going on nowadays with us it being in what I would consider to be a form of recession. Uh, Success really should be based on your own personal view, um, an unbiased perspective as to something that's realistically attainable. So, uh, I, Jay, you and I spoke on this before, where I referenced something along the lines where you can have a success is viewed. It seems to be how much materialistic wealth do you have,
Mm.
right? Um, or that seems to be the most common denomination of success,
Right.
and you're judged on that merit. Um, Albeit from a relationship perspective, someone that takes interest in you. Oh, what do you have to offer me?
Mm.
What do you have to bring to the table that I can visually see? Not necessarily the accomplishments that you've attained through your lifetime. I need to see what you can give me now.
Mm.
And in that, and what I'm saying is, as an example of someone who's an entrepreneur and successful one, albeit because of how much wealth I've gained in that sort of mindset, right? I
Right.
have 20 businesses. I've hit Ford's top list with at least 5 of my businesses, top 100. So I'm a success. I made it. As opposed to you can have someone who's a farmer, uh, who grows crops for a living,
Yeah.
and someone outside of that spectrum would look at this person and say, "You're so much more of a success than whatever that is."
Right. Absolutely.
So it really depends on you as an individual to embrace your self worth,
Mm.
right? Embrace you, because that is going to help you get through that portion of your life where success has to be meaningful most to you above anyone else. If you
Mm.
base merit of your success, it's respectable to have that of your peers say, "Hey, you are amazing. You
Right.
are great at what you do.
Right.
You are going to be something special. Keep up the good work." That's a form of success, right?
Mm.
But you have to find it in yourself to be not complacent, but to be uh, motivated by your own many accomplishments, those many stepping stones. I like to say stepping stones. I use that word a lot because it's big in all
Right.
aspects of life. So to me, success is really based on what I make of it. So today, if I decided to get a workout in, like I just before we got started, I just came back from a 5 mile jog.
This
To
guy.
me,
This guy never
what a
takes
day.
breaks. Never takes breaks.
Working 5 this morning.
Oh my God. He's showing off. He's showing off,
I'm
guys.
not
He
long
just
ago, and
he just
five
never
miles.
takes breaks.
I'm just just for me, that's a success story in its own right.
Absolutely.
Me, someone else, hey, someone else might have just knocked out 10 miles, and I may fall in comparison to what their version of success may be. But to me, I've earned that success to me, so it's meaningful to me, to my journey and what I want to accomplish. So I
Right.
think it's really important to create tunnel vision of that success for yourself,
Mhm.
because you can easily be captivated to what you see everywhere at all times in this era. uh, Technology has never been more advanced. uh, what we see has never been more advanced in general, and we are in an era that we are learning as we go what this is. And we are, in truth, in my opinion, I may be going a little left here, we're losing the basic fundamentals of humanity, like that resides within us. In my
That's
opinion,
fair.
because there are two people that you see.
Mhm.
There's the you I see on social media platforms,
Yep.
uh, and then there's you outside of it. If I'm fortunate enough to know you or know of you,
Right. Right.
and that's just where we are, right? So you're losing a part of who you are, which in essence, to bring that back into what our topic is about, is success, which I think hinders people perspective, because enough is just not enough for someone. Like
Mhm.
my accomplishment today of my miles isn't enough for someone else.
Right.
Upon, because it's like, man, I did that, but Dang, I ain't gonna get a bunch of likes if I post this.
And actually, to your point, and kind of going back to where I started with stock, it's like there are some people who bought at a specific time, but they felt that they probably bought in too late, right? So as it's going up, there's some people that you have buying at $100 and then $150 and 200, 300, and as it goes up, they're like, oh my gosh, I don't even have this money to buy. I mean, nobody's. Do you really think somebody's gonna throw down a stack for some GameStop stock? Look, I'm not out here bashing it, but again, you have to understand the value. I don't. My blood pressure's starting to rise. Let me calm down.
All right,
But
man. I tell you what. Let's cool off a little bit, man.
what I wanted, my point there was that when it comes to success, if you're forever chasing a dragon, you're never going to be able to catch it. If you're forever chasing somebody else's idea of what it means to be successful, you're never ever going to capture it because it's not meaningful to you. Just like Will said, he said, success to him could be buying a car. It could be buying a 2000 model of a Toyota Camry. Doesn't have to be buying a 2021 version of a Bentley, right? He said also buying a house. It could be buying a nice, single family home somewhere, right? Doesn't have to be in the Hollywood Hills, doesn't have to be a $250 million mansion. It could be a nice house. That's successful to you. You don't have to base your success on, oh, I want the most grandiose thing. I want the most expensive thing. I want the largest possible thing. You could want that, sure. We all want to strive. We're all striving. Well, you're striving every day. I'm striving every day, and I'm sure you guys are striving in your own lives. But along the way, you also have to be able to understand what success means to you, right? Again, it means whatever to whomever, but do not allow society to categorize success as being only gold nuggets, only fancy cars, only millions and millions of dollars in the bank. That's not what it is. Success is based on what you make it. Success is based on what accomplishes you have made. Success is based on you. It's based on you.
That's very true. I mean, bottom line, that's where it comes down to creating those healthy habits to keep that in mind because it's so easy to lose track of that, right? I mean, high school was one of those things where peer pressure was a big thing, and where the most simplest things you judge that based on what someone else had as opposed to what you had. And yeah, it really comes back to like what Jay said. Just how do you measure your success for you and be
Mm.
okay with it, right? To be okay to say this is good. Now I can move on to better.
Yep.
So let me embrace this win in this long journey that's ahead for me. So I would say, uh, you know, take those stepping stones. Take it one achievement at a time. Set minor goals in your day. It could be as simple as when I wake up, I'm going to take me 5 minutes to enjoy a good cup of coffee before I get going out this door and
Mm.
before I get on my day to get it started. That's a win. That's a feel good moment.
Yeah.
Um, you know, or when you come home, uh, something that is for you, something that is a part of who you are. Find a way to make that into a successful moment for you, something that you can love and appreciate you. See, that's the message that I'm hoping to transcend with this aspect of success, because it all goes back to the ability to appreciate you, and then that would dictate the level of how you decide to marginalize what is a win for you on the track to your greatness. That's how I would say, if I had any tips, what I utilize to provide to you guys, that is some methods of what you can imply in your life, or tweak it as you may, but never forget the importance of who you are,
Yeah.
and you'll never ever feel underachieved in the successful wins that you do come across in your life.
I agree. I 100% agree. I think in all seriousness, we are heading to some really interesting times in our society, and there will be days where it is tough to just get a win. There are going to be some really rough patches that we're all going to have to get through, and um, our promise here to Chromis is that we'll get through it together. We'll try to understand how we all can be more productive in society, not just society in general, but even let's take it down a notch at our homes, right? For our jobs, for ourselves. How could we be more productive? How could we, bring about change in our life, and how could we live to the definition of the success that we've put out there? So whatever we define success as, how do we live up to that? And then how do we surpass those goals that we've achieved in order to keep rising and keep growing as we go through? So it's been it's been a tough few weeks, as you know, with the changing in the guard for this country in particular. But brighter days are ahead, and we're glad that you're able to stick with us. You're glad that you're here with us, and that you've taken time out this Sunday to just hear what we have to say. Again, we're just two brothers here. We're not talking at you. We're having a conversation. We're talking with you. So we would love you guys to reach out to us. That Instagram is where we are. We are at Acromis the Movement. We also have Facebook. Facebook, you just type in Acromis, ACHROUROMOUS, and you'll find us there as well. And I think, man, I think the one thing that we would want to get into going forward is a topic that correct me if I'm wrong, man. I think this is really near and dear to us, especially because we use it all the time, and we're all using social media. All of us do, but when does it get to a point where we feel as though we're using it just way too much, right? Are we on our phones all day long? Like, I gotta say, a few days this past week, I was sitting on my phone and it felt like I spent a good 4 or 5 hours just on my phone doing random things, not even working. I probably shouldn't say that out loud, but I was doing work, but I was also distracted. And with a lot of us working from home, there are so many distractions, including social media. So I want you guys to stay tuned next week on Sunday. We're going to dive into what social media addiction looks like, and just come up with a strategy for you to determine just how much time you're wasting on your phones on social media. There's a whole life out there, guys, and we want you to live it. Yes.
Absolutely, absolutely. We have to get back to defining true sense of normalcy. We need it. We're losing ourselves.
We
We're
have
losing.
lost ourselves, I'm convinced.
But it's okay. Hopefully, this gives some enlightenment to just kind of at least be more mindful of your time.
Yep.
Time for you.
Yep.
So that's what we're hoping to accomplish. So be on the lookout for that.
Yep.
Also absolutely check our pages out. You'll start seeing
Absolutely.
content on there.
Yep.
Start seeing more of our personal story, so you can get to know us a bit more in depth, to know exactly who Will C is, and see Mr. J over there, and get to know us more on a more personal level, right? Because this is what we're here. We're here to show you what we can do, what this movement is all about, and have you really be a part of this. Be a part of this with us. Stay with us.
Stay with us, man. Stick with us. It gets better and better every week. As you can see, my lighting is better this week. You see, God, what an improvement.
Yeah,
Success. This is me
success.
defining my success. There's
There
a
we
light
go.
above me. Look at that. Wow. Success.
That's it right
There you go. I defined it.
there. Nice way to bring it home.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. All right, guys. Look, same time next week. Every Sunday, we're on here and we're talking with you. And again, we're thankful. We want you guys to have a very productive week. We want you guys to define your own success. And we'll see you next Sunday. Until then, I am J.H. Gibbons.
We'll see. And hey, you know what? Quick intergestion.
Sure.
How about you share a success story for us? Give us a success story. Post it. Let us know, what is a successful moment for you.
I like
Like,
it.
I really want to know that. I'm
I
looking
am very
forward to seeing
curious too.
what's put out there. And if I have any more successful stories, like if I wake up tomorrow and I get to have another chocolate waffle, that's something I may share myself with you guys. So I just had to put that out there.
There you go. There you go. Yes, absolutely. DM us, comment under this video, share anything with us, man. We are in this as much as you are. But until next week, you guys continue to find success. You guys continue to be productive, continue building healthy habits, and we'll talk to you soon. Peace.
Peace.